right, everyone. Welcome back to episode 26 of the Slap the Ask show. I'm here with my co-host and great friend, Luke Knaus. And this week we have a little special surprise. We finally decided to use the mics that we bought about 7 months ago. So, Luke, how you liking the mic so far?
Well, the funny thing about the mic is, we bought them before we even did our first podcast, and we have never used them. So we figured a Jimmy and Luke episode, why not break out the microphones? And I think it sounds better.
Yeah, I do too. I'm curious to see how it comes out on YouTube.
I'm just worried that it'll pick up the background noise since we don't have the headphones in. That's all I'm worried about.
We'll see if that's an issue or not. I'm curious to find out if that is the case. Our technical man.
Comment below if the mics are better or not, or if you think we need headphones too. So
yeah, we'll have to ask our technical guy miking around to see how this is all going to play out, because he does all the editing, which we do appreciate greatly.
We'll figure it out.
So, Luke, I know you have been not busy at all with your real life and been focusing so much on the markets. Care to share with us what happened this week, or want to pass the baton to me?
I love how I was just telling you before we started this episode that I wasn't paying attention to the markets this week, and that was your first question. So I appreciate that, first of all. But I feel like we always start off with crypto. So why not start off with I feel like we're talking about crypto more and more because the OTC has been kind of cooling off. But Bitcoin, again, right? You were telling me?
Bitcoin, Ethereum, all-time highs. Ethereum, I think, touched $4,833. Bitcoin, I think, just under 68,000. So both are moving up pretty steadily. Tim Cook actually did an interview today on Monday, Tuesday, November 9th, talking to CNBC about how he actually owns some Bitcoin and Ethereum. And
really?
With Andrew Ross Sorkin. And he was saying how he finds it very interesting, which makes sense. I mean, if you're the CEO of Apple, you're probably into these cutting edge technologies. And he was talking about how Apple has no current plans to do anything with cryptocurrency, but it's something that they will certainly look forward to in the future. One point I want to make.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'll say one point I want to make is it seems like Apple, they actually don't really release many super duper new products. And that the iPhone wasn't the first touchscreen phone out there, and they didn't come out with the first laptop or anything like that, but they just
make it better,
the best of whatever that new technology is. So maybe when time comes, they'll come out with their cryptocurrency once the regulations are already set and things like that.
Right. Well, yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens, but I mean, Apple just had they came out with a new MacBook. They came out with all the new stuff before Christmas, in November, like they always do. But I saw a tweet. I don't know what the relevance of it was, but it was basically saying the price of the phone was I don't know what it was, the 12 Max. It was $1,200 was a very little Ethereum, and now $1,200 is a ton of Ethereum. So if you would have paid in Ethereum, you would have lost out by not keeping the Ethereum. I think that was the only point of the tweet, but I thought maybe that they were implementing cryptocurrency into buying their products, but I guess that's not the case. So
yeah, maybe. I mean, it's funny though, that you bring that up. Everyone's talking about how it's great that these companies are accepting Bitcoin as payment for their goods and services. But also you have the bulls of Bitcoin being buy your Bitcoin and hold it. So you actually won't want to use it as a currency because everyone's operating on the assumption it's going to go up in value. So why would you spend it?
Why would you spend it? Right. Well, I think it's when people bought it so low that they've made so much money, they got to spend it. Because, I mean, a lot of these crypto guys don't even have cash. They literally just buy everything with crypto, and they won't support businesses that don't accept it. That's their way of pushing it as a currency, which we both don't think is extremely reasonable, but I guess they do. Hence the conviction.
Yeah, I mean, I fully endorse people using their assets to push forth the agenda that they want. If you want to live in a crypto world, free of fiat currency, shop at businesses that accept crypto. That's cool with me.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, it's funny, looking at the altcoins. I know the coins that we follow pretty closely, like Matic, One Harmony, Um, and others, ADA, I think hit an all-time high, Cardano, but I haven't really paid much close attention to it. Mainly One Harmony and Matic. They're really, they're not really near their highs. Actually, what am I saying? One Harmony is near their highs. It's over 30 cents now. Matic Polygon, though, is not really close to its high at all. It's about still 30 to 40% below its all-time high, which I find interesting considering we're in a bull run of Ethereum, and Polygon network is supposed to be an enhancement of Ethereum. So you think the coin would do good as well, but
Right. Well, yeah, I mean, it's interesting because I was watching this Alex Becker guy is like a big crypto guy. And he was saying that basically if Bitcoin and Ethereum aren't doing well, everything else doesn't do well. Like it kind of, it follows ship with it. But I was also the one thing that I've been seeing in the crypto markets a lot lately is the gaming cryptos have all been popping off. And it makes sense, right? Why would you use USD to be tipping these people online when you can be using crypto? And it seems like it's that same type of community, So it's just a matter of, I think, picking the winners in that sector. I think could be pretty profitable.
Oh yeah, I mean, one of our former guests, Warren Burke, he's been going off on Twitter recently, just talking about his senior thesis when he was back at school about how video games would evolve to this play to earn type of system where essentially you play and your achievements are paid out through either some sort of cryptocurrency. I mean, and he looked at like games like World of Warcraft and like what's the like another old game like RuneScape or whatever where you actually
League
were
of Legends.
Yeah, like you're actually like paid in the currency of the game to like buy assets within the game.
Right.
So why can't that just now
look at
a currency, like a cryptocurrency on the blockchain?
Right. Look at all these applications where you can buy like gaming apps. You ever play like Clash of Clans when you were younger?
I know you did. I remember you playing Clash of Clans all the time.
I still have it on my phone. I don't really play it anymore, but like, I'm not going to lie. I spent money on that game. If Clash of Clans were to partner with a cryptocurrency to promote their game, I feel like that'd be a win-win situation for both. And they get some sort of investment from the crypto. They get a certain amount of, it'd be like investing in a stock. You're like a shareholder almost in that currency, and you also promote it at the same time. And now there's actually a use case.
Right. I saw this great, I forgot the game is called, but I find it fascinating. It's a game with NFTs and it's a horse racing game. So it's all these horses and you basically own an NFT for a horse and you race, and whoever wins the race, you win money. It's basically like a horse gambling, but virtual. And NFTs, non-fungible tokens, unique to everybody. Like you have your own unique horse. And like, that's kind
of cool.
Yeah, I think it's genius. I can totally see something like that happening with like maybe some sort of like you can make fantasy football based off NFTs. I don't know how far it can go, but I definitely see that this is a path for the metaverse that everyone's talking about, which we can talk about.
And and I mean, and NFTs use the Ethereum network, correct?
Most do. I think
most do, right. So it's like it's kind of promoting each other. NFTs probably became big because they use the Ethereum network, and Ethereum was a big, project. So kind of they help each other out. So I think we'll start to see a lot of partnerships and stuff like that, whether it's like Tesla accepting Bitcoin, whatever company it is. Now I think it's going more into like the virtual gaming type space application.
Yeah, so Luke, let's like transition off that. We didn't really get a chance to talk about it, but Facebook changed their name to Meta because Mark Zuckerberg is obsessed with this idea of the metaverse. The idea that you have this avatar in this augmented reality or virtual reality world where you exist in, regularly. Like that's his evolution of the internet. That's what his thought process is. I mean, I think Zuck knows the internet better than just about anyone, considering he made $100 billion leveraging the power of the internet. So his thought process behind, or his belief that the metaverse is the future, I find interesting, scary, but I think it presents a lot of opportunity. What would your thought be on the metaverse?
So Zuckerberg's premise is that you basically live a second life on the internet. That's basically what it is.
Essentially.
I think that is where it's trending towards, but I think that's also unfortunate at the same time. Because I think the more you live your life online, the less you're going to focus on your actual life. So like for me, like I deleted Facebook recently, or at least deleted the app off my phone because one, I think it's distracting. Two, nothing on there is really beneficial. Like I kind of justify my Twitter addiction in that it's kind of assisting me in reaching financial goals because I see, I see different stock. I follow almost all stock people in different news sources. So I kind of justify it as being beneficial. Granted, it's probably a waste of time as well. But
you learn something. At least you like to think you learn something by going through Twitter. You don't become dumb.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's like horrible to have like a TikTok or something, but I don't think it's necessarily productive. But people are going to keep using Facebook or Metaverse or whatever. So Zuckerberg's probably right. Beyond that, I don't know.
I mean, I think I was watching or listening to some podcast before, and it's talking about how like virtual reality, that's something that kind of scares a little bit of people because, like you said, it allows people to kind of exist in this world that's separate from the current world and would probably result in a decline in human civilization. I think that's fair to say. Who knows? I guess it hasn't really happened yet. But one thing that is exciting, I think, is actually augmented reality. I think that would be kind of cool. I mean, think about like you in construction. Imagine you could put on like these goggles and see the perfect measurements that you need. You can see like what a finished project would look like if you had a granite countertop versus a quartz granite countertop.
Yeah, I mean they're already scaling in that direction with like 3D renderings, and they have 3-dimensional virtual tours now you can take of your house before you even build it. So it's definitely trending in that direction.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think it's going to stop anytime soon. So
yeah, so I mean, I consider augmented reality to be more of a tool, whereas virtual reality is more like a drug that people get hooked on. Whereas reality is like a computer; it's a better computer.
Well, yeah, I mean, when you think about it, what's the point of social media? What is the point of these social media companies? They want you to be hooked, right?
Right.
They want you to be addicted to that refresh, to the notifications. They want you to keep coming back because the more eyes they have, the more ad money they make, the more viewership they have on their ads, and then hence they make more money. I mean, it's all about making money at the end of the day.
Right.
So by Zuckerberg creating this metaverse, it's going to get people more drawn in. They're going to be more involved into it. Hence, it's going to become more profitable.
So to finish off, we don't provide financial advice, obviously, but would you be long the meta stock in this with this new revelation of virtual and augmented reality, or would you be short the meta stock? 5 years from now, let's think 5 years from now.
Well, I mean, I was having this conversation with you about like an Apple or like a Tesla or something, whereas they're already so overvalued at this point, right? I mean, based on what they're making. I mean, Facebook's probably more profitable, I would say, than like a Tesla. But I just think that there's better opportunities. I would much rather find the smaller company that Facebook's going to buy than invest in Facebook itself. And I don't even know what Facebook's trading at right now, but it's probably a lot.
Yeah,
I would assume.
Yeah,
I mean, look at Tesla. It's trading over $1,000 now.
Although Tesla, I guess we can pivot off of that. That is down a little bit. Let's pull it up real fast. Ahead of
I mean, I think that was bound to happen.
Yeah, Tesla dropped 12%. So, all right, we'll leave the long, short Facebook question. I'll say long.
What would you say? Long?
I'll say long. I mean, it's going to go. I think it will go up. I could see Facebook being a $2 trillion company in the next 5 years. So 100% 5 years.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you're risking your money by investing in any of these tech companies.
Yeah. Anyway, let's pivot to Tesla. So Tesla by Friday was trading at like $1,200, like $30, way up. Then Elon Musk puts out this poll on Twitter saying like, oh, I hear there's all this hoopla going on now about the rich using unrealized capital gains as a way to increase their wealth without paying taxes. I guess which makes sense, right? There's no gain realized, so your stock continues to go up.
So you're not paying taxes.
You're not paying taxes on the gains, which
should happen.
Yeah, should happen. So anyway, he proposes on his Twitter a poll if he should sell is either 10% or 10 billion worth of his Tesla stake at the
Who said this?
Elon Musk. He put on a
Musk?
poll. Yeah. Poll
So
asking.
he's basically tweeting something that's going to hurt his own stock price.
Yeah. I mean, and today Tesla's down 12%,
So stupid.
down $200. I mean,
Yeah, whenever Musk says something like that, you like, to me, I feel like all of his marketing ploys and everything seem so calculated. But when he says something like that, it just seems like a regular guy who tweeted something that he didn't really think about the repercussions. But I don't understand the rationale for that. Do you?
some are speculating that he was basically paid options in Tesla shares to reach certain
Right.
price targets, which he did reach. So that gain, technically, of receiving the shares is taxable income. The idea, because he received the shares, you had to get taxed on the value.
Right.
So that people at Bloomberg and other business outlets are suggesting that he even put out this poll because he has to sell stock anyway to pay the tax for the gains of these new shares that he was issued.
And he doesn't need the money.
And maybe he's, I mean, I don't know, but
Seems like a good problem to have.
yeah, there was also another report that Elon Musk's brother, which funny enough is on the board of Tesla.
Yeah, he owns a ton of Tesla shares, right? Yeah.
He sold 88,000 shares on Thursday or Friday, the day before Musk tweeted out the poll. So people were questioning, was he insider trading? Was this a calculated thing by Elon and his brother directly benefited? Who knows?
I don't know. I mean, when you think of someone who's in Elon's position, do you think it, when he was worth over 300 billion at one point, like, do you think it really mattered? Do you think it's just like a power thing at that point? That, yeah, I guess it's, you always want more. And then he said, what did you see about what he said to the what's that global organization that helps out everyone that he was going to donate to?
United Nations.
The UN. He said, look, I can donate $10 billion or whatever it is and theoretically end world hunger. Give me a plan to solve this problem. And essentially, there's no plan that could be created because you need sustainable resources. You can't just give food to these people because then they'll eat it and then they'll need more. They need clean water. You know, it's a much more difficult process than just throwing money at it. And when you throw billions of dollars into a non-profit organization, there's going to be greed, there's going to be scams, there's going to be problems. So,
oh yeah, I mean, I completely agree, especially something like the UN where they just, I mean, I think there's some like nonprofits out there where 85% of the donations just go to salaries and 15% actually go to
I mean, if you
organization.
Yeah, I mean, the definition of a nonprofit is that there's no profit left over after expenses. That includes salaries. So you could pay yourself as much as possible and still be a nonprofit.
Yeah,
you can be very rich and have a nonprofit organization.
It's not such a bad idea.
Yeah.
Anyways. All right, so I guess we'll leave it at that. Tesla down significantly.
We've been talking about big boards a lot more on this show. But
I know, yeah. OTC just haven't really been. I don't know. I think we've been busy recently. Haven't been able to focus on it too much.
I mean, I tweeted my watch list the other day. If you want to go into that a little bit.
If you want to talk about it, I had one other thing I wanted to talk about, which is
go ahead.
So the Biden administration said that they will be announcing the Federal Reserve chairman before Thanksgiving. Right. Some are speculating that Powell may actually lose his job and we'll have a new Fed chairman. And people are speculating that in a Biden administration, the new chairman would be someone who's even more into like money printing. So it'll be interesting to see who he selects and what their monetary policy is like.
Well, what do you support at this point? Would you rather us print more money and continue to elongate the process and push it off and not have any catastrophic issues for the next year? Or would you rather try
I think for the good of the country, we should probably raise rates to make sure inflation doesn't get too crazy, considering wages aren't really increased. The wage growth is happening just because of like supply and demand issues, but the inflation is just insane. So I think we should raise rates to help combat inflation as it like for the good of the nation. Having said that, I think money printing will help asset owners perpetually. And, you know, I would like to have had more assets before they continue to keep printing the money, but I mean, I'm cool. I'm not like, I mean, I think I personally will benefit from money printing. While I think
Right.
many will suffer simply just because they don't have enough assets and they don't have enough, what's one for, like enough invested in in markets or real estate or crypto to benefit from a inflationary environment. So, I mean, I think I'd rather have Powell just stay, at least keep it consistent, than him appoint someone new who would be even more into money printing. What about you,
Yeah.
Luke? What are you thinking?
Then it screws up the market. I mean, I think I kind of agree with you. I mean, if we keep printing money, obviously the inflationary issue is going to keep becoming worse, and then people are going to start looking for riskier investments to make money, like crypto or elsewhere. But I think at the end of the day, you just got to diversify to the extent where you're protected against any sort of dramatic downturn. But I don't think you should live in fear your whole life. I mean, there could always be something that happens to the market. So are we just not going to trade? You know?
Hey, shorts make money too, right?
Yeah, and shorts make you can always play the opposite side of the market. So I mean, if something were like that to happen where it is catastrophic, just start shorting all the big boards and probably do fine too. So there's always a way to make money. I mean, I as far as speculating as to what will happen, I don't know. So I'm not going to speculate, but I would assume that Powell would stay.
Yeah, I think betting markets have Powell staying for now.
Yeah.
So we'll see if that happens or not. And it's funny. I feel like Fed chairman, I think they have 10-year terms. So yeah, I think Powell was appointed. It was actually, yeah, I guess he was appointed by Obama.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, 10-year terms, and we've had a few. I feel like we had a decent amount of like Federal Reserve chairperson turnover. So it'd be interesting to see if he get like if we had Powell for 20 years, it'd be kind of crazy.
Yeah, it would be crazy.
So I mean, I'm done talking to you, Luke. You got anything you want to talk to me about?
Yeah, I just figure we'll go through a little bit of OTC for what I've been looking at. I've been looking at SDEC, Smart Decision Inc. That was down a lot. It was down in the double o threes, which I was trading in the double o fives, and today closed up 19% at 0.051. I like that stock, non-diluting from what I can tell. Got a lot of good upside.
Shout out Bill Stocks.
Shout out Bill Stocks. Drop, I think, is always a good ticker to be trading, up 14% today. Really easy to predict, really low float. Vimonti had a great day today, closed at 110. Our baby.
Love to see it.
GVSI closed green today as well, although you can't trade it yet unless you're in the gray markets. I'm interested to see once that's reinstated what it goes to. I think it's going to go to like 10 cents personally.
I saw somewhere that some like crypto exchange company like came out saying that they're not merging with GVSI.
Not really.
Yeah, I mean, who the hell knows what's going to happen with it? But I do think you're right. I think once it's tradable again, everyone's going to be like chomping at the bit to just buy into it.
To get in. Yeah, and the people who are in aren't selling because they're going to make pennies on the dollar from what they were invested in. So why would they sell? That's what I think.
Yeah, exactly.
Toner, I've been seeing all over Twitter. Small green, huge small green today. CYBL.
Sherry loved Toner. I think
Sherry
she loves CYBL too.
CYBL, I mean, that's everyone. I mean, in September, everyone was so bullish on that. It went from like penny to like 6 pennies or something. Now it's at like 4. So I think the run's kind of over, but we'll see. We can talk about PENN.
Oh shit. Yeah, well, excuse my French. You spurred a reaction out of me. Yeah. I guess PENN had multiple news. They had a poor earnings report last week. Portnoy was the victim of some sort of hit piece by Business Insider, basically accusing him of like sexually assaulting these girls that he was hanging out with. And then also PENN lost the bid for New York State gambling rights. So FanDuel and DraftKings are going to take New York State gambling. PENN gaming not allowed as of now.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, like half a week.
How political is that decision? That's entirely political.
Oh yeah. So New York made the gaming outlets bid basically tax rates to the state, and DraftKings and FanDuel bid 51% tax rate. And I guess PENN didn't bid high enough.
Well,
pay enough taxes.
I mean, it's trading at $59 a share. It was trading at like over $130 a share a few months ago. So if you're going to long anything in the gaming industry, again, not financial advice, but I think it's a pretty safe bet.
I mean, I like their casinos. I think PENN owns Rivers and Parks.
Yeah, really. Yep. And they own everything on the East Coast.
Yeah, Parks is sick. So I highly recommend everyone go there if you're in the Philly area. Yeah. They must own something in Atlantic City too. I don't know what it is though. What their property.
They own so many casinos. They own a lot in the Poconos too, I think.
Get all the old ladies that like to go there.
Yeah, so I mean, once I can close on this property, I'm going to be a lot more into OTC again, a lot more active. We'll be able to give a little bit better insight than we've been doing. But honestly, I always enjoy talking macroeconomics with you. I think that's always fun. So I hope people appreciate that. But
yeah, no, it's a pleasure. And I think once I am now fully immersed in this new job, I can be more focused as well. I mean, officially started the new one today. So
yeah, congratulations again.
Yeah, thanks. So yeah, so I'm excited. And it should be a good winter. Penny's OTC loves the cold for whatever reason.
Yeah, historically, December, January, February are the biggest months. So let's hope we repeat the trend.
Yes, sir. Let's gear up. But all right, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. We're gonna try and get a guest next week. And if you want to be a guest, don't hesitate to reach out because we sometimes we swing and miss on our guests that we invite on, but we're trying to get more singles here. Maybe not home runs,
Yeah, I mean, our guest Doug last week was great. If you guys haven't checked that out, highly recommend watching that video. That was one of my favorite interviews. So
it's fantastic. He's an old friend too. It's funny, yeah. Like Doug was one of the guys I feel like we've been interacting with the longest on Twitter, but you just get like lost in the fold, and it's like, oh yeah, like let's just talk. And yeah, it was a great interview. Learned so much. Very unique perspective on things. So with that, episode 26 in the books. Hopefully next week we'll have a good guest for you guys. And until then, happy trading. Later, everyone. All right. Take care.